I remember it very vaguely, but my mom has refreshed my memory. And although I just told you I wasn't precocious, I was adventurous, let me put it that way. So I had done my part, and my mom said that I came back off stage, and I was in another scene a few minutes beyond that one. So instead of taking me back to the dressing room, they stood me backstage, but they had my mother there so that I wouldn't make any noise or anything. And they had one of those drinking fountain, not a fountain, but a bottled water with a little thing, little paper cups in the back of the stage. But it was right behind the stage and it was going on live out in front of you. So I decided that since I had already worked and wasn't working for a few more minutes, wanted a drink of water. So I pulled on my mom's skirt and said, I want to drink water. Shh, don't talk. You get water after. And I guess Alfred Hitchcock was standing over there getting ready to do this commercial. And so he went like this to me. He goes, and got me to come over. And my mom knew it was Alfred Hitchcock. So she figured, he wants you to come over there, go over there. And he got me the water very quietly and gave it to me. And then I went back. And he didn't speak because, as I say, he didn't say anything to me. And then probably, as a child, I have no idea. Within maybe a week, a month, I don't know, I was called to Paramount. And I remember going in, and it was at his lunch hour, I guess, on the movie he was working at the time. And I went to this rolling, as I told you, dressing room on wheels, but they're very elegant. And I saw this man with two waiters and huge silver whatever serving things with a big silver top on, and they would bring up food, and he would cut off some and put it on a plate, and then they'd take that away, and he'd bring another huge silver thing. And he said, "Hi, do you remember me?" basically. And I said, "Yes." And he said, "All right." And the interesting part, I think, about him, and I went and I did Trouble with Harry, and we were in Vermont. We were in Stowe, Vermont for probably 9 or 10 weeks as part of the movie. And there are the big interesting story about that is the first time we got there, all the local residents said, "Oh, this place is so beautiful." And we went there in the fall so they could do the leaves. And they said, "But you know what? If you wait one more day, the leaves will be a prettier color." Now, I believe this is one of the first movies that Hitchcock not only directed, but he produced. So it was a lot of his money and Paramount's there with the company. So he has this huge company there, a full movie company. And they say, "Wait one more day." Okay, so he waits a day, and the leaves do get prettier. And they say, "Wait another day, and they'll get better." And so we were there about, I think, a week, maybe 2, maybe even 3 weeks, and he hadn't shot any film yet because he's waiting for the leaves. So he finally said, "No, no, no. They'll be prettier tomorrow, but we're going to start shooting tomorrow. And if next week they're the most beautiful ever, it doesn't matter. We're going to start shooting tomorrow." That night, a huge windstorm came and knocked all the leaves off all the trees. Now, I'm about probably 3 feet tall. When you see me in that movie, I'm fighting my way through leaves because they're about this high on me. But there were no leaves on the trees. Now, in Germany, there's a tree that has leaves the color of the ones in Vermont basically all year long. So they hired 2 cargo planes. They cut down all of these limbs and pounded them onto the tree. I can remember the grips up for every scene, pounding limbs with leaves on them that were pretty for Trouble with Harry. And the other interesting thing, when I saw him many, many years later when I was doing Leave It to Beaver, he would always come by, and he would come by on the set of Universal when he was doing Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and he would do intros and outros for that series. So he would come maybe once, I guess probably a month, or maybe once every, I don't know, 2 months, and just do a day of filming on the set. And I would see him around the lot, and he would always come up to me, and I'd see this big Rolls Royce, and he always had a chauffeur, drive him in, and all of a sudden it'd pull up, and the window would go down, and he'd kind of lean out, and he'd go, "Oh, hello, Mr. Mathers." And that just blew me away because everybody else, I was either Beaver or Jerry. But Alfred Hitchcock always called me Mr. Mathers. I say, "Hello, Mr. Hitchcock, how are you doing today?" "I'm very well, Jerry. I'm here to do this show." And actually, in one of the intros and outros for Alfred Hitchcock Presents was actually done on, because they went around the the studio looking for places, and it was actually done in the Cleaver living room. Now, they took out all the furniture, but if you know the design of the house, you see that it's part of the Leave It to Beaver. You see the foyer, and he's there. Probably a murder mystery, because most of those were. But he actually filmed on our set one day.